Howdy there, folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to our Let's Play in the wonderful world of Satisfactory, which has been ongoing for way too long. We should have made much more progress by this point, and we haven't played this in a very long time, because life has been weird, Copa has been weird, the internet has been weird. I sat down, though, recently and decided to really push hard in Assassin's Creed to get that finished, and I think that the days of doing multiple different games at a time are done and behind us. I would much rather focus on 1 to 2 games at a time and not try to get, you know, like 2 games and 2 Minecraft series and all the live streams. I was overworking myself for far too long, and I'm ready to simplify my life and everything. So what we're going to do here today is we're actually going to be tidying up this space, or at least that's what I thought I was going to be doing. I just realized we're still doing all of our processing here for making wire. I wanted to clean this space up and make more massive storage containers for storing all of the items inside of my inventory, because more often than not, I have far too many items in my inventory to a point where I can't get anything done because there's no room in here. And where am I going to store these things, right? Like, I've got 81 iron plates. What do? Do I go over here and just put them inside of the iron plate container? Well, ignoring that's not iron plates. The iron plate container's full. I can't just put them in there. These are actually, though, I can put these in here. There is room. So there we go. There's that taken care of. Why wasn't that filling up, though, now that I'm thinking about it? That should have been going. See, something's broken. Clearly something's broken, and I wasn't even aware of it. And I have no idea how to check for it, because I don't remember how any of this is set up. What I was going to do was overhaul the base, tidy things up, make it look nicer, make it more practical. Okay, no, these things are coming. Okay, and now they're stopped. Now they're gonna build up in a backlog, just like everything else over here. That's fantastic. I believe that bottom one used to be steel. It's not anymore because we have the full functional steel facility. But now that I'm thinking about it, what I might want to end up doing is going over here and getting the new copper area set up and running. We've talked about this before. You know, having, instead of everything be piped back to our base like it used to be, instead having several distinct zones. So you have a zone that manufactures iron, a zone that manufactures a copper, a zone that manufactures, you know, all the different objects. And they kind of get assembled, and then they all get shipped to one sort of central location. This is where we would put the copper facility, right here. And yeah, let's go ahead and pick up this copper ore, because we got to get rid of this massive rock if we're going to put an ore extractor on top of this. We do have, I say ore extractor, you know I mean a mining rig. We have a mining rig set up for this, but we want to move it all over here. So I'm going to go take that one down. We're going to have the 2 of these running, one manufacturing, I guess, the cables, and one manufacturing the wire. Cables. What else goes into cable? Is it just wire? It's been so long now that I can't quite recall. We haven't gotten the mask yet, have we? We don't have filters to breathe in the nasty green stuff. So that's... well, I mean, I was going to say that'll be a problem, but I don't really think it will, just based on how far away the green stuff is from the mining operation. And plus, we're not going to be spending a lot of time down here. So let me think about what we're going to need here. We're going to need the 2 mining... you know what? Let's go grab this one that's over here right now while I'm thinking about it. And oh my gosh, I forgot this was a thing. That's right. We have a giant line of coal out here. What are we doing? How did any of this happen? How did any of you let me make this happen? You should have all stopped me. You all knew better, and you just let this happen. We're 40 episodes or something of this series, and you folks just sat back and were like, yeah, Rees, you go do that, lol. Well, I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I hope you've had your fun, because now we're starting to deal with the consequences of my actions. That's a flying rock. Let's shut this bad boy down. And hopefully all of the items will go into my inventory. I didn't check to see if I had enough space, but I should. This, on the other hand, let's see. How do you... There we go. F. Yeah, I just did it a second ago. So that's everything. We'll leave, actually, this conveyor line open. We'll take this out. Yeah, excellent. And we'll come back and we'll deal with this later. Because there's just so... What am I going to do? Break all this down and then carry all of this copper back? I say no. I say we'll leave it here for now, and I'll deal with it later, in the same way that we still have that massive line of coal. Remember all the work I put into that? Do you remember all of the work? Think about it from, look, pixies, little fairies. Remember all of the work we put into this setup over here. And now it's forgotten. It lays in ruin. I mean, it's still operating for the most part, but we can do it better. We'll probably overhaul that. So let's see. We're going to need 2 minor MK2s and a couple of processors and some other doodads. Maybe I should use proper terminology here, all right? 2 minor MK2s. Hey, look at that. I'll just add them over to the to-do list. We'll need smelters. 1 for each, I assume. Possibly 2 for each, depending on how we want to do this. Can be automated by feeding into it with a conveyor belt, connected to the inputs. What do you do, Foundry? 2 resources into an alloy? We don't need that. We're going to need 2 constructors? 3 constructors if we want to automatically turn them in. Yeah, okay. That seems accurate. And then just a bunch of wire. So that seems pretty straightforward. I think we can get this these materials thrown together pretty quickly. I do want to check just one thing, though, and make sure that I'm not wrong and crazy and going to be shrekking all of this up. Let me go ahead and check what goes into cable. It's just wire. Yeah, so we'll construct the wire, and then we'll turn the wire into cable. Simple, easy, as lemon squeezy. Let's do it. Right, so as it happens, that was dummy easy. Like, I had all that stuff pulled together in a matter of just maybe a minute and a half. Most of it was just lying around, and the rest of it that I needed to assemble was in my inventory. I did leave my vehicle over here earlier. Some of you may have noticed that. None of you said anything, though. None of you said anything. You might argue that it would be difficult for you to say something based on the fact that this isn't a live stream. This is a video that's going out after the fact, to which I say to you, nobody asked your opinion, Steve. If your name's actually Steve, I am asking for your opinion. Comment down below. And give me some insight, give me some feedback, tell me what I can do to make my content better for you. Because that's what it's all about, Steve, is you. You stuck-up jerk! You think everything's about you? You're a maniac. You're a lunatic. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Steve. We love you. You truly are the best human being. I don't actually know anyone named Steve. I know a couple of Stevens. They're pretty chill guys. I like them, actually. But I don't know any Steves, except for the one that DJ Tanner dated for a bit. I don't know. I haven't watched Fuller House, so I don't know where that ended up. But, I mean, I think his full name was also Steven. Hey, guys, do you know what we neglected to do entirely? Like, I didn't mean for this to happen. I just completely forgot that we would need storage for these things. So, let's head down to organization. We'll need 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, okay. Alright. Well, maybe we've got what we need to manufacture these in the back of the workbench. It's a possibility. It does seem unlikely, though. But it's a possibility. Encased industrial steel beams. We actually do, what looks like, have what we need to manufacture enough of these, thank goodness. We just need to get that up to 60, and then steel pipes we can make 115 of. So I'm not too particularly worried about that. And then once we get those manufactured... I hope Tier 2 is going to be... I do have steel rods, good. I was going to say, we have to have conveyor belts to move all of this stuff around. And I neglected to intentionally get any materials that would aid in that sort of a project. But fortunately for us, I do happen to still have some reinforced iron plates. So it depends on how rich in ore these 2 taps we're about to tap into are. You know, whether or not we're going to be overflowing with copper and might need a higher tier of plate. But fortunately, we learned previously, not even all that long ago, that you can, fortunately enough, upgrade them and get your materials back. So we can just put down, like, the lowest tier, or this, like, tier 2 is what I'm trying to say here, conveyor belts. And, you know, we'll be fine with that. I could go tier 4. Well, you know what? Let's just check these and see what they say. 60 per minute. 60 per minute. Okay, we'll be fine. I mean, we could go tier 1. We're not going to. I just wanted to throw out there that, you know, we could. It's an option available to us. That's going to be under logistics, correct? We'll grab tier 2. Excellent. And because we're going to be grabbing these, I think, pretty often, what we should have done, if I'd been thinking about it, was assigned that to... Yeah, there we go, on 1. And I guess we could reassign some of these too. Oh, wait, they were already on 5. Well, I can't reach 5 easily because I'm using this gamepad thing, so Shrek them. Do we need to go ahead and power these up, I suppose? Let's go ahead and put a... I need to stop saying that. I need to stop saying let's go ahead. I think that's my new actually, Because I think, was it actually that I used to say way too often? Actually, I think that it was. See, it's such a, it's a cancerous phrase, like Hakuna Matata. What a cancerous phrase. Hakuna Matata. Let's hope it's a passing craze. It means something about worries. And I'm not afraid. We need to get power over here. Maybe we can grab it off of that line right there. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. How do we want to run it? Straight through this gap here, presumably? Can we hit that power pole I set up? Oh yeah, looky here. Oh, excelente. I didn't bet you didn't know that I was multilingual. Did you hear that there, folks? I've been using my downtime well. Excelente. Pronto. Can't afford. Missing cables. These are all other languages that you don't understand. You have no idea what I was just saying. But if you use Google Translate, you probably still won't, honestly. I'm a fan of Google Translate, don't mistake me, but let's all be real. It's not the most accurate thing in the planet now, is it? Bless its heart, it does try. Alright, I want to get these hooked up so that they can start collecting nonsense. And by nonsense, I mean copper. Cool. And if we take a look inside of these bad boys, are they sticking to that 60 per minute? Boy, howdy they are. So this is a tier 2 miner. These must be some pretty lousy ore veins. Like, there's just not a lot going on in there. But that's alright. That's because we've got 2 of them. And honestly, we don't use a lot of copper anyway. You can make the argument that what I should have done was just split the copper line we already had and had one of them create cables. But think about everything else I've done in this series. Has any of it really made sense? Has any of it actually made you feel confident that I know what I'm doing and I've got a long-term plan? Because if so, then you're a full Harry Potter, and you will lose. That's a quote from Voldemort, or Voldemort. I think it's supposed to be Voldemort. J.K. said this. I'm pretty sure... Wait, have we talked about that in this series? I know we've talked about it before. I can't remember well. Yeah, J.K. Rowling has confirmed that we've all been saying Voldemort wrong. It's supposed to be Voldemort, and for some reason she waited all this time to correct us. Apparently it's supposed to be French, which, I mean, I don't think Voldemort is French, so does he fancy himself a Frenchman? I know he hates his Muggle father, but does he hate their English heritage as well? I have no idea. But, you know, much like the creator of GIF waited way too long to come out and say he wanted it pronounced GIF, which makes no sense considering what the word is and what it's derived from and how it's spelled. That's not the point. Not the point at all. The point is it's too late now. I call him Voldemort because I think it's ironic. I don't do it out of respect to the author, because who has respect for J.K. Rowling anymore? But no, it's silly, isn't it? Okay, let's have some copper ingots be made. Let's get some more copper ingots being made. And then we'll have those go directly into our assemblers. And you know what I just realized is we're actually going to need 2 more industrial storage containers. Oh, good! Oh, good. I have that many ready I have that many materials left. So that's good. What was I talking about here? Oh, yeah, you can't wait that long and then just drop that surprise on us all. You know what I mean? You can't just come out and be like, actually, I always intended for it to be... No, I mean, this is such the JK thing to do, though. I'm surprised she hasn't come out and announced that actually I intended Harry Potter's name to be Harry Broader. Actually, I intended Harry Potter to not be human. He's really an alien. Actually, you know, you folks have been getting it wrong all along. Harry Potter's not a boy. He's a squirrel. He's the squirrel that lived. Ugh. You don't lie. You wouldn't be surprised. Is it upsetting anyone that this isn't being built on a platform? Because I just realized, you know, I went through a lot of effort to build the still facility up on this massive, beautiful platform, and then this is just being built on the dirt down here. But I kind of feel that way about the copper. It's just kind of, it belongs on the dirt, honestly. That's that's how much value I see in the copper. I think it's okay. You know, it's such a small operation. This still facility is huge, and therefore, in fact, it's still the biggest facility we've built so far. So, you know, it makes sense for it to be such a large platform. So, you know, everything can stay more organized. And if I need to work on it moving forward, it's a lot easier for me to kind of see what's going on. So I think that that's a bit important. Whereas with this, it's so simple. A caveman could do it. You remember that commercial where the guy says it and then there's a caveman out in the audience and he gets real angry and he starts trashing the joint? That was a good time. I enjoyed that. They used to make good commercials. You couldn't make that commercial anymore, though, because that would be considered like making fun of some demographic of people who get offended over nonsense. Like, you can't make fun of people who are offended over nonsense anymore, because that itself is making fun of people as hate speech, don't you know? And hate speech is not free speech. You should be beaten with a rod for it, apparently, even though... I don't know. Let's not get into it. Where's my storage container? Who determines what is and isn't hate speech? How is that determination made? And is it whoever's in power? What if someone else comes into power? I mean, what if Donald Trump decides that criticism of Donald Trump is hate speech and then outlaws it? Oh, you're not so keen on having the government have that kind of power anymore, are you? You don't like that anymore, eh? It's not good. No. Now you're rethinking all of this and thinking, hey, maybe this was a bad idea. Maybe the government shouldn't have any authority to limit speech. Well, you know what? It's too late now. Well, it's not. At least not in America. In some countries, it is. Bless them. What are we out of? We're all out of. I can fix that. I can fix that real quick. I don't know why lately when I start recording, I just feel the need to go off on these little tangents. I think it's because I want to keep talking. I want to keep the dialogue flowing. And the problem is, if I stop, we have to do a cut, and there's this awkward edit, and it kind of messes with the flow of the video. Whereas if I just keep talking, I sort of have to shut off that part of my brain that censors what I'm saying, or, like processes it. And what that means... Oh, this is already powered in, I guess? Yeah. Okay, good. Everything's powered in now? Is one of these plugged in over here? Is this one plugged in at all? Oh, this one's not plugged in. Oh. There we go. So without my brain, processing and determining what should and should not be said, it's just a string of nonsense coming out. And that's just the reality. So I want you to produce... What? There's a plethora of options here that I don't think we had. Of course we didn't, because I'm looking at this bad boy. It's already producing copper. Good. You're producing copper, you're producing copper, you're producing copper wires, you are producing copper wires, you are producing cables from the copper wires, 15 per minute. And how many are you producing? 45 per minute. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I do wonder if maybe this is unnecessary. Maybe we didn't need both of these. Well, you know what? Let's not worry about efficiency. It doesn't matter because copper is so infrequently used. You'll notice we're no longer even producing just raw copper. Like, we don't have access to the raw copper anymore. I suppose we could. If we went back over here, we could just get out some copper if we needed it in the future. But we're not even bothering to have just a thing with copper that I can get a hold of if I need to use it for something else, some other recipe. Because we don't. We'll never need raw copper. In the same way that we don't have raw steel at our fingertips anymore, you might have noticed in the steel facility, everything gets processed out. So that's just not a thing anymore. Because we don't need raw steel ever. If we ever need something that, is manufactured with steel, we'll just add another leg to the steel facility. It'll just still keep going. So here we go. We did it. We got this nice sort of copper facility up and running here. It's not on a platform, which might upset some folks because it's certainly not as organized as I think some of the other facilities we've built have been. I mean, compare this little grass facility down here to the absolute monolith of a facility that we've got operating over here. I mean, just look at this. This is professional. This is beautiful. Quite honestly, this warms the cockles of my heart. But I don't think that this needs to be on a platform for what it is. I think that it's homey feeling, isn't it? Yeah, that's what it is. It's comfortable. It makes me think of my life back as a kid on the farm in ye olden days. Yeah, that's what this makes me think of. Is there a photo mode in this game? Is there a way to get rid of the things that I'm holding so I can just see... Let's see, let's check our options. Video, controls, got all of our moving, build menus, ping? Resource scanner, emote, wheel, open map, open codex. Okay, didn't know that was a thing. Open photo mode. There's a photo mode. Oh my gosh. Okay, well first off, what is a codex? Right on. Photo mode? Oh. Okay, sure. Can I get rid of the grid? Toggle high res, right mouse button. Toggle UI, middle mouse button. Wow. Bring that back up though. Can I get rid of my hand? Take photo, field of view. Toggle high res, toggle UI, exit photo mode. Whoa! Whoa! Baby! This looks like that time that Gandalf described dying and going through time and space and then being sent back until his purpose had been fulfilled. Oh, man. That's wild. The reason I want to do this is for the thumbnail, right? Like, I want to have a nice thumbnail, but... Look at that. It's just got my hand in it. Nobody wants that. Is there a way to get rid of my hand? This window will not appear in photo. What about my hand? Can I not? I can't get rid of it. There's no way to get rid of the hand. There's no way to not be holding something, apparently. I can't just put that down. Like, there's always something on screen over here. I didn't see an option to turn that off. Well, even so, I guess. Hey, I guess we're done for today. I know that seems like a bit of a weird episode where we just go off and do this one little side project, but it needed to be done. And it needed to be done because we needed to clear up space over here. We're getting rid of everything that's over here. Like, all of this nonsense is going away. All of this massive platform over here, and all of this, like, this is going away. And as soon as I figure out where I'm going to store all of these, they're going to go away. I guess I could take some of them over to the other storage container that we've got for storing these things long term. And I guess I'll do that sort of right now. Between this and the next video, I'll just very slowly cart them over here manually. But hey, thank you folks for watching. I really do appreciate it. God bless each and every single one of you. And remember, just because you don't like something that someone says, or maybe you even personally find it to be offensive, you got to really ask yourself whether or not you think it's beneficial to give a governing body the authority to punish that person for saying it. Because remember, that governing body is not permanent, especially if you live in a free country where you have elections and different people come into power. And if you give one governing authority that power, the next one is also going to have it, and you're just dumbing down people to accept it. So, I mean, you might like who's in power now, and you might like, you know, restricting others to things that you, restricting speech to things that you agree with. But, you know, when a power that comes into, and that, you know, you don't agree with, I'm really struggling here, you're not going to like it. So, free speech is important, and, the right to have an opinion and state your opinion without getting hashtag canceled is also important. Remember to be, like, tolerant. You don't have to like other people's opinions, but accept that they have them, and don't, like, try to have them fired and then find their address and then come to their house and threaten to murder them and rape their children. These are things that actually happen in the world. That's the sort of deranged lunatics we're dealing with in society today. It's kind of depressing. It's actually very depressing. So don't be a part of that problem. Be a better person. You know, I implore you to please think. And I mean, we're in such a... People like to use the term progress, right? Like, people like to consider themselves to be rather progressive individuals, which is ridiculous because we're living in a very regressive society where if you say a word to someone, they'll lose their minds. They'll go old school primitive on you. They'll start beating their chests and hopping around like a crazy monkey and screeching, and they're ready to fight you over words? Over words. Think about that. And we're in such a regressive society now that we're, oh, you know what? Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Maybe we just need to ban certain things. That's not progress. A society that can't handle hearing words is a society that has regressed to caveman era. You're not big brain energy. You're tiny, primitive, fully emotionally driven. It's 5-year-olds. It's a society of 5-year-olds. We live in a society of 5-year-olds. That's what it is. They get their feelings hurt, and then they cry, and then they want to just punch somebody. I know! I used to be a 5-year-old. Whenever me and my friend got into a fight that we couldn't sort out with words when we were 5, we would try to beat each other up, and we were very tiny, and I wish video existed of it, because it was probably really pathetic. And then we'd get in a lot of trouble from our parents, who were adults, who were like, actually, physical violence isn't the way. A lot of people haven't been taught that by their parents, apparently, but my parents did teach me that. They're like, hey, you know what? You don't just punch someone because you disagree with them. I was like, really? This is news to me. And, because I had semi-decent, competent parents who taught me that, I now don't go around threatening to murder and rape people who disagree with me. And look, I'm just saying, that's just me. I get it, I don't want to offend someone whose modum operandi is to threaten rape and murder and kidnapping of children and loss of jobs, if that's just... I'm kidding. No, you suck. Bye, everyone!